I want to make it worse because I want to discipline some of you. Because this is the end. I have carried you enough. It's time for you to grow up. And Oliver has, this is a part I want you to cut and put in our WhatsApp group so that the people there might learn. Because you guys are thieves. You must stop thievery. This is the last part about the brotherhood. I talked about the responsibility of the father to children, and his job is to father the children, in other words, to take them to the next step. I want to talk about the responsibility of the children to the father. I want to read Galatians 6, verse 6. The one who is taught the word of God is to share in all good things with his teacher. Kimani Bwana asifiwe. Listen, I'm not talking about tithe. I'm not talking about offering. And I'm not talking about myself, unless you are in masterclass. But he who is taught the word of God is to share all good things with his teacher, contributing to his spiritual and material support. Do I need to say any more? The people who teach me, okay? Athlete, my parents, I remember one time I was with my wife, and we met my primary school teacher. Man, I paid a nigger. Oh, I paid a nigger. Do you remember? I paid him because he who teaches deserves to share in all good things. It's a debt. Stop robbing your teachers. Stop robbing your teachers. Stop robbing your brothers. The good thing about only having 3 people contributing to my ministries, I can tell you the truth. It's the best part. Tadu. Huh? But let me tell you, stop robbing your brothers. What you have, you're supposed, listen, if you find yourself with something, first question you must ask yourself, who is this for? And guess what? The more you give, the more you have. Take it from me. That's how I live. Anyway, I'm 7 minutes past time. This time we started right on time. In fact, internet may crash. Am I still there? So we started right on time. So I'll see you guys next week. I hope you've received my rebuke with love. And wait, let me explain. Why am I rebuking you? Because some of you have put your trust in your bands, your job, your whatever it is. And let me tell you, it's about to burn. It's about to burn because God is looking for people who will be people who are grace actors. People who understand that when they're given grace, just like they were given bread, their job is to give. And someone else who receives it and to give. When you are done collecting, you will have 12 baskets left over. How many baskets were left? Was it 2? 12 baskets, yes. Hey, 32. When you store. Now, here's the irony. You know how it worked. Let me, can I show you guys a mystery? Show you a mystery. if Jesus took the bread and broke it, how much was left in his hand? None, because he gave it to his disciples, correct? Now, if his disciples took it and broke it and gave it, how much was left in their hands? But when they gave, they collected 12 baskets. For who? 12 disciples. That's a mystery. Grace is multiplied when it is given to others, not when it is hoarded by you. When you take what God has given you and you give out, what was a tiny crumb of bread came back 12 baskets. Now that answers your question as to why Jesus asked them to collect, asked them to collect after the people had eaten. Should I show you a mystery? The abundance of the grace giver comes from the abundance of the graced. You see, it is the grace of the littlest person who ate. It is his grace left over that when it is given to the disciple that gave out everything, that the disciple has abundance. So how is it supposed to work, dear preacher? You're supposed to take out of your storehouse knowledge, wisdom, advice, care, rebuke. Because some of you think rebuke is not part of your job. You are supposed to rebuke people. When you take and you give it to them, and it either gives them a job, gives them a marriage, gives them a breakthrough, what they're supposed to do is supposed to take those many crumbs and give back to the original gracer. Now let me tell you something. Let me address something. Many preachers are sad and depressed because you guys, when they gave you, and you guys don't understand how it works. When Jesus is touched, he says, virtue came out of me. You don't understand that a true shepherd has fought a wolf for you. Now you, when you are enjoying the wolfless life, you forget to replenish him. So he lacks. This is why the preacher is not exempt from giving. He must give. He must first receive the bread from Jesus, and he is the first to break it. And everyone else who receives it then has the responsibility to break it. Then when it is broken, we have full circle. That's why it says, give and it will come back to you. And it specifically says, shall men give to your bosom? It does not come from God, because God has released his grace. So when you receive grace, your job is to give it out. So the person who receives grace is required to also give it back. Hello? The problem with the cycle of generosity, it's broken. So you have churches where everyone gives to the preacher, and the preacher does not give. That's a broken cycle. Okay? So it needs to be a complete cycle. So if you find your preacher always giving and you're not giving, problem. If you find you're always giving and the preacher is not giving, problem, because it's a cycle, just like currency. When we say the economy is in trouble, when money is not in circulation, equally the kingdom is in trouble when grace is not in circulation. We must circulate grace. So what's a rebuke? If you're not giving to your teacher, if you're not giving to your brother, you are stealing because you owe them. Because what God gives you is not yours. Interestingly, the kingdom is weird like that. But yet, the more you build God's temple, which means the more you build God's people, the more God builds you. So the more the disciples were distributing, the more their buckets were full. Hey, it's your choice. Go back to the world, live selfishly, or come into the kingdom and finally achieve the abounding unto every good work. Be your brother's keeper. Be the one who meets the wolf on behalf of your brother. Share in all good things with your teacher. All good things. Nimemaliza. Sindio? Rebuke received with love. That should fix your church. Should fix a lot of things. What a masterclass. Hope mmesikiza.